Hi, the buzzword today is regulating the nervous system. For the past couple months on social media, it's all the rave. Everybody's talking about regulating the nervous system. What does that even mean, and how do we regulate our nervous system? Well, I'm not a professional in terms of psychology or counseling or any of that. But I'm going to share with you what I imagine it means to regulate your nervous system and how we can go about doing that. I would say I am a pretty calm person. I have been told that it's unusual for someone to stay so calm, especially sometimes I've been through some situations where other people tell me that if it was them they would have freaked out, or they would have responded either more harshly or more, they would panic, or you know just not the way I dealt with it. So I think the reason for that is that from a very early age I have been very interested in meditation, visualizing, journaling, affirming, doing my affirmations several times per day, meditating several times per day, just being very reflective and purposeful in how I live. And also the fact that I came here with a purpose. I've always felt that I had a great purpose. From I was very, very young, I have known within myself that I came here to fulfill a great purpose. And because of this, it keeps me going, it keeps me grounded. It it lets me know that whatever negative moments I'm having, it's just a phase and I will get through it. And so I've always been able to muster that, to muster the courage, because I've been in situations that required great courage. I've been in situations where I pretty much was alone in terms of standing my ground, not folding, because there are people who, especially when they see that you have something that you have started from scratch, they will try to derail you. They will try to come and take it over, or they will try to come and infiltrate it with their principles, if we can call it principles, or veer it to where they want it to go. And you really have to stand firm on your principles and remember that no, this is my vision for my thing, and this is where we're going, and you have to stand firm on that. So I think I have been able to do that because of how I have lived from a very early age. And I want to share some of these, if you can call them tips, if you want. I want to share some of them with you because I know that right now we're going through, people have always gone through trying times. And every generation thinks that they are going through the most difficult time. But I think we would all agree that we who are living now are in a very unique situation in terms of technology, in terms of the threats to our existence, right? It's a unique situation. The information that we have at our fingertips the information that the average child has at her fingertips right now, the kings and queens of the past could not dream of having access to that information. The information that the average 4-year-old has at his or her fingertips. The kings and queens and emperors of the past did not have access to this information. So we are unique in history as far as we know, right? Maybe there have been civilizations that have been totally wiped off the face of the earth and we do not know that they went through all of this. It's been done. So there is that thought as well. But yeah, we are in trying times and we have to maintain our composure, maintain our focus, particularly those of us who came here on a mission and we have to fulfill that mission. So I made some notes and I'm going to share with you. I have 14 points. 14 points that I think will help in regulating the nervous system so that you remain calm and steadfast and focused on what you are here to do. So number one is on my list is live proactively so that the unexpected things don't derail you. The Desiderata says we have to foster strength of spirit to shield us in sudden misfortune. And how do we foster that strength of spirit? I don't know, maybe by being exposed to sudden misfortune over time. No, but these are the other ways, apart from actually going through the many misfortunes and becoming strong. And by the way, I'm doing this video on International Women's Day, and I want to say power to the women who, we go through so much, and I'm proud to see now the women are coming into themselves even more and taking a stance and refusing to fold and refusing to compromise on certain things. So power to my sisters, my mothers, my daughters, my students. So fostering that strength of spirit so that when unexpected things happen, particularly unexpected negative things happen, we can ride through, we can hold on, we can stand firm, and we are not derailed. And how do you avoid from being derailed? Plan ahead. Marcus Garvey said, have a plan. At our school, our motto is taken from a poem. It's a verse from a poem by Marcus Garvey. And it says, all life must be a useful plan that calls for daily serious work. The work that wrings the best from man, the work that cowards often shirk. Have a plan, but even better than that, have a backup plan. Have a plan B, plan C, plan D, as many letters of the alphabet as you can, so that if one thing doesn't work out, you can fall back on the next and the next and the next. Aim for the stars. If you miss the stars, you'll fall on a cloud. You'll fall on the treetops, on the foliage. You'll fall on many things before you hit the ground, and it will break that impact on the ground. Aim for the highest. Have contingencies in place. Don't rely on one source of income. Have multiple streams of income. Do your very best to capitalize on all the talents that you have been blessed with. Capitalize on them, monetize them, have several sources streaming in so you're never relying on just one source. And let me tell you something, especially as women, never put yourself in the position where you're relying on another person for your livelihood. Have your own. Have your own. My second point is deep breathing exercises. Slow, deep breaths. Stay calm. Just breathe deeply. Just be cool, right? Somebody step on your toe, it's okay. The thing is, you need to put yourself also in other people's shoes and understand that we're all on our journeys. And you see, most people going about you don't know. You don't have a clue what they're really going through. Some of them have just been diagnosed with an illness, or a relative of theirs was diagnosed with a terminal illness, or an illness that's going to wreak havoc on the family's finances. A lot of people are going through some situations that we just don't know. They're not going to tell you what their reaction to you might be because of that. And you have control over you, right? So don't be too quick to become angry. Don't be too quick to judge. Don't be too quick to interpret somebody's action as a malicious intent towards you, even if it will have an impact. Just try to mitigate that, or try to step out of the way of that, but don't be too quick to retaliate, right? So take deep breaths, long deep breaths. Number 3, meditation and mindfulness. I started meditating, doing affirmations when I was about 16. I remember I stumbled upon a book. I was staying with my aunt, and I think she borrowed this book from a co-worker, but I know I was meant to have this book. I woke up and I saw it on her nightstand, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I think it's Joseph Murphy. That was the first book that I read on mind power, the power of thought, the power of affirmations. And I was so inspired by that book. I wrote out affirmations and I actually recorded them on audio cassette. For those of us who are from the dark ages, you remember we had our cassette recorder, and you could record, press record and tape yourself and play it back in the Walkman or in the cassette player. So I did that. I recorded my affirmations and I played them over and over for myself. And I've been doing that ever since. Even now, when I go on my walks in the mornings, I'm playing a recording from my phone every morning. When I wake up in the morning, I do my meditation, I do my affirmations, and always try to be focused on that and always affirm the positive. You don't need to deny the negative, just affirm the positive. My 4th point, live within your means as you go along, right? So you're always thinking that things will be better and you're making positive, deliberate steps to improve your condition, but as you go, live within your means. As we say in Jamaica, don't put your hat where you can't reach it. Not take up where you can't manage, stuff like that. As you go along, you gradually increase, gradually make it higher, but still keep it where you can reach it each time, so you don't become a problem and a burden to others. Number 5, pay your bills on time. Most of our bills are scheduled at specific times of the month, and so we know they're coming and we have a good idea of how much they're going to be. So we have to budget for them and avoid having to pay late fees that are really not necessary, right? You know when the bill is due, avoid the late fees, because some of these late fees can become very exorbitant. Number 6, minimize unnecessary stress. If you know that there are people in your life who are just constantly, They're always in a mess. They always have problems. Every time you talk to them, the the energy just brings you down. They always have problem with people. And these can be your coworkers, they can be your friends, they can be your relatives. Avoid them. Avoid them if you can, because they will literally bring down your energy if you let them. You know, I have a particular family member. Every time you encounter this person, there's always a problem. The first time you see the person each day is a story about a problem with somebody else. And the energy that flows with these people, it can affect your energy. So if you can avoid them, do that to protect yourself. Number 7, yoga and tai chi, gentle movements, anything that just makes you move gently, right? Yoga is very good for the physical strength as well as relaxation and, making your body fluid, keeping that stress level down. Number 8, progressive muscle relaxation. Massaging yourself or being massaged by a loved one or by a professional masseuse. All of that will help keep the body calm and fluid. Number 9, nature walks. Do some gardening, do some farming, walk in the outdoors, take a hike, expose yourself to some sunshine and some fresh air. Number 10, grounding. Stand on the bare ground with your bare feet. Stand on some wood. Climb a tree, sit in a tree. All these things will ground the body and restore your balance of the magnetism with the earth and the electrical impulses that flow through you and the magnetism that flow through you. We are physical beings, and just like how the elements, the other elements react with each other in terms of the forces between them, it's similar forces. We have a physical body and we react to the earth, we react to the moon, we react to the other things around us. Number 11, regular exercise. For me, I walk every morning. I'm not a jogger. I like walking. It feels very natural to me. And I've also been skipping. So skipping works almost every muscle in the body. And skipping is very good for building your lower body strength, building your shoulders, your arms, everything, your abdomen. So in the mornings, I skip and I walk. 12, healthy sleep habits. So I've never required a lot of sleep. My mind is always active, especially in the wee hours, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the mornings. I'm either up writing, reading, doing assignments, whatever. So, and I feel very rested in the mornings. Everybody, I think, is different. Some people say you need to have 8 hours sleep. There's never been a time in my life, maybe as a toddler, there's never been a time in my life from a teenager where I get 8 hours sleep in the mornings, and I've accomplished so much, and I feel rested and I feel energized and I feel, you know, purposeful. I don't feel exhausted. So I think I get enough sleep, even though I just get maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Some people ask me if I sleep at all, but I feel rested and energized. Number 13, social support. Our nervous systems are regulated when we have ways of expressing ourselves socially. I am an introvert, but I do like good company. I like happy conversations. I like comedy. I like, just laughing at myself, laughing at other people, not ridiculing, but just seeing the fun in situations and not taking yourself too seriously all the time. Just relax. And my last point is journaling. Again, from I was about 8, 9, 10, I started writing in my journal, and I can't even call them diaries because they were so immense. They were like chronicles. No, I always knew I had the writing thing in me. Um, to date, I have published 28 books, and that's just because I have been on a hold for the past couple of years to complete my studies. So I think I wrote my last book in 2019. So that was six years ago. Over 6 years ago, I wrote my last book, the 28th book. So if I had been continuing with my writing, I know now I would have probably double that, right? But yeah, I started writing in my journals from that time, and tons every day. And that has helped me to regulate my nervous system because it allows me to express. So whether I'm happy, sad, angry, doubtful, fearful, confused, I express that, and just releasing those things helps to regulate your nervous system and prevents you from taking things out on other persons too. And we have to try to come home to ourselves and know what's happening with us and learn to express that and learn to navigate through those feelings. I'm going to add another one, which I guess I didn't write this one down because it is so self evident to me, but maybe it is not self evident to others. So let me add it as number 15, and that is good nutrition. I believe in veganism. As a matter of fact, I believe in raw foods. I've never been able to completely practice it on the long term for different reasons, but it is my ideal. And if you eat healthily, your body will respond to you in a positive way. You will naturally regulate your nervous system. All the systems in your body will naturally regulate themselves. So ensure that you have lots of fruits, lots of veggies, lots of water, coconut water, sunshine, fresh air, good thoughts, good vibes. Be happy, smile, laugh, tell jokes, even corny jokes. So those are my pointers. I hope they will help for those who wanted to know how can I regulate my nervous system and stay calm, stay composed, stay focused, stay positive. So let me know if it helps, and let me know if you have other pointers as well as to how we can go about this buzzword regulating our nervous system.